Hello, the worldwide website. We are Hack the Dino, bringing you all the nonsense variety in an hour
Of a show.
About
video games.
I'm Ben. That's Dan.
McGuinness.
We're a bit out of sorts because we didn't get YouTube happening.
We weren't set up even like 10 seconds ago.
Yep, it's been a hell of a week, but that doesn't matter. We're here now with you, our lovely friends.
A beautiful audience.
I love you 3000.
What?
This is episode 69.
Dude.
No. Episode 69.
Dude.
No, stop it, Dan. Episode 69.
Nice.
Thank you.
Of
Hack the Dino.
At the same time.
No, you're
What
not.
episode is it?
No.
16.
I'm not playing
9,
with you.
dude.
No, you're not hijacking your thing. We've got our thing. Brady and I planned it. It's ours.
Hijacking.
Bill and Ted.
No. We've got a hell of a show for you because it's episode 69.
Nice.
And if you see any pictures on the show today that aren't the right resolution, it was Ben's fault.
It's fine.
It wasn't him. It was me.
So we've got the 30th anniversary of the Game Boy. We're going to talk about that. And I've bought a couple of little surprises out of my collection to show and tell.
Oh, happy birthday, Game Boy.
And
Thanks, mate.
30 years old and hasn't gone through puberty. And we've also got a review of Mortal Kombat 11. But first...
It's not called Game Adult.
But first... I'd just like to thank our sponsors, Greenlight Comics and Kinkajou Collectibles, but more about them later. Dan,
Yes.
what have you been playing the past fortnight?
I've had a bit of a retro week. What do you call it? A flashback fortnight.
Man, we've sort of switched roles this week. Usually it's me playing all the retro
I
stuff.
know. But so first up, I played Timberweed Park. I did a stream of that, which, as you can see here, is a point-and-click adventure, but with a difference. It's new. It's made by the same guys who made Maniac Mansion and Monkey Island. What's the first one called?
And Day of the Tentacle?
Yeah. But what's the other
That
one? Monkey Secret of Monkey Island? Return of Monkey. Well,
Sure.
the Monkey Island game, which are point-and-click adventures.
Some monkeys,
So they were like, man, it'd be wicked to do a bit point-and-click adventure in like 2019 or whenever they started it. So they got a Kickstarter going and they wanted to raise $375,000.
Yep.
And they raised $626,000 straight away.
Funny thing, a friend of mine actually was making a point-and-click adventure game as well called Vincent the Vampire. And his very first time he went to launch it on Kickstarter to try and get the funding to make it.
Yeah.
This launched the same day.
Oh.
So, needless to say, that didn't go ahead.
So these guys are the OGs of point-and-click adventures.
Yeah.
What makes this one kind of cool is that it's very funny. The dialogue is like very, very meta. Is that the right word? Like very self-aware that it's a video game. Like if there's a body dying on the ground, we have, and instead of like them going before the, like they say, oh, we have to do stuff before the body rots. They say, we've got to do stuff before the body starts pixelating and all stuff like that. And they're like, very, very, very funny thing. It's got the style. They wanted Twin Peaks mixed with X-Files mixed with True Detective.
Right?
I can see it.
That's a good combination.
And they kind of got it. The only problem is that I played it on my stream and I just don't like point-and-click adventures, I worked out. And I'm like, it's a great point-and-click adventure, but for a stream when you got people watching and you've just got like endless dialogue scenes, which is what we're kind of looking at here.
Yep.
I'm just like, nah. And then I just like canned it, stopped it, and played Resident Evil 2 for the next 3 hours with people.
And I think that describes you perfectly, Dan.
Yeah.
Sit back, appreciate it, muse at the meta humor, maybe interact with people and get them to choose the decisions. Nah, give me shooting zombies in the face with my gun.
Yeah. But so it didn't work very good on the stream, but that doesn't mean it's not a good game. It is a beautiful point-and-click adventure. There's a lot of swearing in it. There's a lot of funny humor. It's just like taking tropes from everything. Like as I said, the X-Files. You play secret agents. You play dream scene. And I've seen that there's bits where you actually go back into Maniac Mansion. With the original Maniac Mansion graphics as well, and stuff like that. So it's very a handshake to the past. So that's the first game.
Handshake to the past.
I made that up as I was saying it.
That is the Hack the Dino handshake to the past. Stay tuned for more handshakes to the past here on Hack the Dino. Dan, what past have you also been handshaking?
So I have also been handshaking with, I have created my own Hyperspin Unit.
Remember, more than one shake with your hand, you're playing with it.
Yeah, it's true. So Hyperspin Unit is basically where you can back up all your old school retro games.
Oh, I do enjoy backing up all the
Back them up and
old school games I've legally purchased.
Same here.
Throughout the years.
And you put them into a menu system, as what you can see here. You can see it goes through and it comes up. This is all my backed up Nintendo 64 games, the whole catalog that
I actually saw that game earlier, just over there in your bookcase.
I actually did have that one. And this is just going through the first menu. These are the Game Boys and stuff like that. And so I've been creating this console over the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy with it, and I've got it going.
Mm-hmm.
So then I invited my friend Jen and Liz over, my friends, and we decided to play a bit. And we decided to do PlayStation 1, and we hit the first game we played that night was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I've got some footage, Braden. Bring it up.
Oh, do we?
Of you playing it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've got a couple of the games. So yeah, this is it, the original graphics of Tony Hawk's 2, which in my opinion is the best Tony Hawk's game. So we were playing that and we're having lots of fun. It was just great to get back to those old graphic roots days, because they've remade this game now with bejiggered graphics and stuff.
Yep, it's no handshake to the past, that's for sure.
Never gonna let that
You
down.
love that.
Oh, that's canon.
Can that be our logo from now on? Hack the Dino, a handshake to the past.
We're gonna get t-shirts printed. I've been looking for some slogans, and we had now in 2.5D and another one, HMO1U, but handshake to the past.
That's it.
That's number one with a bullet.
That's our retro. When we ever want to talk about retro, it's a handshake.
The handshake
to the past.
Yes.
Also, we had that night. We did a big session on Worms Armageddon.
Right.
You remember Worms?
I remember Worms.
You're a Worms person.
I love Worms.
So here we are. And so Worms is amazing when you get a couple of people playing it, and it's great because you only have to use one controller. So it's not one of those setting up heaps of control games. You have 4 people playing. But Worms is the best when you get the you set your teams up and you put all the worms as names of people you like and don't like. So you specifically, people you work with that irritate you and stuff like that, and you just can shoot these worms and stuff. So we did that, and the last one we did was we crept over onto all my backed up Dreamcast games.
Oh right, yep,
and we had a run in of Crazy Taxi. So did you ever run Crazy? Yeah, the whole only soundtrack is Offspring.
Yep.
And the thing, it's basically just an Offspring album. And the Dreamcast holds up beautifully. It's still got these crisp, rad, blocky graphics that always work, and the arcadeness of the Dreamcast, because a lot of, as people know, it's probably one of my favorite. It's my favorite console.
Yep.
And it was just a great night, and it's just a trip down, a handshake to the past of a night. So that's what I've been doing. There was a whole lot more I played as well. I also what footage I haven't got for you guys is I played the PlayStation 2 Jackass game.
Oh jeez,
which is surprisingly fun.
Really?
There was so many little skits. They're just physics-based things, throw Steve-O down a hill and you control him while he rolls down. You have to hurt him the most, and it's quite fun because Steve-O. Bit weird seeing Ryan Dunn in there though.
Ooh.
Yeah. But anyhow,
there's a handshake to the past
Ben.
for you.
Yeah.
I've been.
It's the whole show.
I have been embracing the future. It's not as quite as catchy. With I got Cuphead for the Switch. It came out earlier this week, and you can see it on screen here. This is actual Switch footage of Cuphead. This game is as beautiful as it is on the Xbox. It's whatever you've heard about it, it's great. It's primarily a boss rush level, so this is one of the bosses from the first level. And they usually have 3 stages that you have to get through. There is a baby mode that you can play if you want it, but if you play the baby mode,
you don't get anything. It's not worth playing it.
No,
because you can't progress with it.
No, you can't at all.
It's so annoying.
And it's why? Why is that, Dan?
Because
you play baby mode.
No. No, it's just if a boss is too hard, you're like, oh, okay, I'll put it down to a bit easier, and then you beat him and I still have to do it in hard to progress.
Yeah, but it's not hard. It's just
no, it is.
They have a specific pattern. At no time, I was playing it and you go F word all the time. But I think what this does really, really well is you can learn the pattern. Very, very
it's
quickly.
very patterny.
You have to die. You have to accept that you're going to die. It's like Sekiro. You have to die to learn the pattern, and eventually you do beat it. You have a good run, and you eventually get there.
Yeah.
You know, this also, not only is it a boss rush, you have platform levels and bullet hell levels. So there's a little bit of variety there as well. I cannot understand the people who do the passive runs or whatever they do there in order to get the black and white.
What do you mean passive runs?
You
don't kill anything.
I don't defeat any of the general enemies.
Yeah. But beautiful game. Beautiful music. It's perfect on the Switch, and
that's good because I always want to buy things on the Switch because of its on the go kind of vibe.
Yeah, there will be one little thing that annoys you. You can see, they can't see it on screen, but in the loading menu, there's a little hourglass that sort of jumps and flips as the boss is loading. On the Switch, you can tell when it's loaded because that hourglass sort of like stalls for half a second and then flips over. That's the only thing that I've gone, you guys should have just taken that out. You should have just had the grain on the screen and just left out that glitching little loading man.
Yeah, a glitchy loading screen doesn't bother me.
No, so, I mean, this is going to be a game that I come back to over the next couple of months. I don't think I'll sit down and just... handshake
me and it's often this game is better with two people. Yeah. So how do you play it with two people on the Switch? You have to like
two Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah, the little man,
the little Joy-Cons,
the little guys. So I played this the other day with my mate, couch co-op. And it was quite very very fun. It made it a lot easier,
right?
Because and you can steal each other's lives if one person's going better than the other one. Look at that firepower the guy's got.
It's great.
That's heaps better than what I had.
Speaking of firepower. Little game came out this week that I purchased. Mortal Kombat 11 is out. I got it on the PlayStation 4. Been playing... Now, Brayden. Yeah, here we go. Junk Punch time.
You can bring us up, Brayden. This is the actual in-game footage. Yeah. Junk Punch.
So I've already gone through the storyline. I've completed the storyline. I've got the bad ending, the good ending, and the best ending. The storyline is what you'd think a Mortal Kombat storyline would be, full of plot holes and hokey as hell. But man, it's great.
Do they have the Mortal Kombat music in it at all? Like they did in the trailer?
No, that was just that trailer.
They blew that. Come on.
I really enjoyed my time with it. I really enjoyed playing it, even though it's a hokey storyline, even though Ronda Rousey's reads are so bad they're almost good.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
I know this game's going to be violent.
I've played a little bit of Tower and a little bit of... I haven't played online because, let's be honest, I'm going to get my butt whooped.
Dude, why would you ever play these games online?
No, you're just going to get absolutely dismantled. One thing I didn't like that Mortal Kombat 10 did really well, like if you chose medium on Mortal Kombat 10 in the storyline mode, it progressively got harder as you worked up into the boss. Whereas this one, if you choose medium, I felt it stayed the same level the whole time.
Like mediumly hard?
Yeah. So, your normal medium
so
setting.
All the characters were just like the same hardness.
Yeah, basically.
That's weird.
Yeah, so there wasn't really any skill progression, I guess.
I only play this game to play couch co-op with friends anyway.
Yeah.
Like, fighting games and like...
The storyline's worth it, because you get a taste of each of the characters. And, it's basically like watching a movie, a Mortal Kombat movie, but you get to interact with the fight scenes. Now, a couple of things I thought were a bit... they didn't tell us before Mortal Kombat 11 launched that the microtransactions, like we knew there was going to be a crypt and you could unlock stuff in the crypt and you can buy currency in order to unlock it faster.
Why not?
However, they didn't tell us that each character will only be starting with one fatality and one brutality. And then in order to get the rest of it, you have to get them in the crypt, which is a randomly generated loot box. So you have to go in there with your coins and hope that you find the correct randomly generated loot box in order to get
your... Is the crypt still a graveyard?
No, it's Shao Kahn's. It's the first game. So Shao Kahn's... Shang Tsung's island.
All right.
They didn't mention that at all, and that's why, because it's
that's
it's a big money grab. I
people
think,
love the fatalities.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're given one, and like they're not the best ones, so you have to just really, really hope that you fluke a fatality. I'm sure they'll come out with like a season pass
fatality
or something,
pack,
soon, where you can just spend $20 on it and buy it. But still, that seems a little bit dodgy to me.
So you got this bit here of Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, yeah, I do want to talk about Sub-Zero just a little bit. At first, I was a bit bummed. Like, okay, anyone who uses Sub-Zero, Uses Sub-Zero because
Freezes people.
he's cheap. Like,
He's good.
oh, he's good, but he's also cheap. You freeze from
Is
him.
that a cold lady?
Yeah, it's Frost. You
Like an axe.
you could usually spam the icing fireballs, whatever they're called.
And this one you
Sorry, what
can't.
now?
Ice balls.
Ice balls. You can you can spam your balls
Oh, so
pretty quickly.
He just fires them out as darts.
Yeah, well, that's one of his moves. But you can usually the freezing ice balls you can spam pretty quickly. However, in this game, I think they've nerfed it a bit. In that there's a slight sort of microsecond delay as he powers up to throw
Like,
it.
zhba.
Yeah, so it's not as instantaneous. So you
Okay.
can't just spam it. You really have to pick your timing. And at the start, I thought, oh, that's a bit dodgy. I don't really like that. But then as the game progressed and I played a little bit more, I actually liked it a lot more because it gave the technique used to win a fight a lot more meaning.
Can we just talk about why Sub-Zero is Marcus Phoenix from Xbox, from Gears of War?
Actually, on the redesigns of all the characters, I really love it. Like Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero clearly has a more Chinese look to him. Scorpion is more of a Japanese background to him.
Does he have his mask, Scorpion?
No, because he's human in this one.
Oh,
Well,
that's Scorpion there.
Yeah, that's Scorpion there. That's Hunshy.
They both look like
Uh,
troopers.
Katana has also no longer looks Caucasian, which I think is really, really great. The redesigns look really cool. I really enjoy it. The
What's his
general idea behind it, in that Chronica, the Mistress of Time, has just meshed timelines together. So you've got different copies of the same character existing in the same space.
It's always the dream, that kind of stuff. Turtles forever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, young Johnny Cage.
Did they Turtles forever it?
They did, but a lot more effective. Actually, no, that cartoon was pretty good.
It was heaps good.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Well worth playing. As I said, I've finished the storyline now. I might go back and do it again on a little bit of a harder level and play some of the characters I didn't play on the first run through. Storyline, it definitely sort of retcons and fixes a lot of the retconning that's happened in the past couple of games since Midway folded and NetherRealm Studios took over.
That's all right.
But I really like it. Really recommend it. I actually think it's probably the best Mortal Kombat game in that whole series as it stands.
Yeah, right.
So you should give it a go. And both of you have it.
We both own
Well,
it.
I've got it now.
Yeah.
And it's still sealed.
Right.
They've been busy.
Oh, what's he doing? His lips are sealed.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, let's head on into the news because we got a little bit to get through this week with Mortal Kombat 11. And just the other day, we had leaks or data miners on the Switch. Switch again. Data miners on the Switch have found what appears to be leaks for DLC characters for Mortal Kombat 11.
What they've found, they've appeared to find is pictures that were not set up properly for the stream, and they're a bit small.
So we can see there what they found is Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, Sindel, Fujin, and Shiva. Now, Shiva already appears in the game in the storyline, as does Shang Tsung. He's in the crypt, as we said. He introduces it, and he's voiced by the original Shang Tsung movie actor.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, your soul is mine.
I never liked Nightwolf, and I never liked Sindel, so I don't know why they're there.
I don't mind Nightwolf. He throws the green power axes, doesn't he? Is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And Fujin was only in 2 games, I think.
Yeah, he's like a 3D character.
Yeah,
like from the 3D
Mortal Kombat
one.
4. He's the wind
And
god.
there's another guy that looks like him as well. They got your long-haired Fujin. I think there's a short-haired Fujin. Was that what he looks like in this game?
Not sure. We haven't seen character models.
Okay, cool.
But there were previously in Mortal Kombat, they're well known for bringing in characters like the Predator, Leatherface.
They've gone ham on this already.
They
haven't
have. Here are the rumors that the data mines think that we're getting for the more, not comical, but the more fan servicey type characters you can have. Spoon, which has been heavily rumored for a while. The Terminator, which is pretty cool. Joker.
I didn't know which Terminator we were talking about. Is it like the T-1000, the T-100?
It'd be the T-1000,
Arnold
surely.
Schwarzenegger.
No, the 1000 is the Liquid Man.
Oh, so T-100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joker, which I think fits considering they
I
did.
thought Joker. Yeah, because that was from DC versus.
No.
Mortal Kombat.
Well, they also NetherRealm also do Injustice.
Injustice. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And there's my favorite one, Ash. If we can get Ash in here, I will be one very happy man.
I was actually playing one of the PlayStation 2 Evil Dead games. Really
Fistful
good.
of Boomstick.
The one where you start in the cabin and you do the whole Evil Dead 2 as the prologue, and it's wicked.
All right.
There's another one. It's another one. I tried the Fistful of Boomstick and it was a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish,
But this one was cool.
but it's got Bruce Campbell voicing it, so
Yeah.
yay.
Yeah, I saw the little trailer for him doing this. Did you see that? There's
No.
like a little skit of him like going, "Hi, I'm actor Bruce Campbell," and he's like, "I'm voice acting for like Mortal Kombat or whatever," and yeah, and he's just like going, "Am I still gonna get paid?" Like, just hamming it up. It was pretty funny.
Bruce Campbell hamming things
I
up.
know.
What?
Who would've
No,
thought?
I don't believe it. Okay, speaking of not believing things, you heard about this really cool game called Katana Zero?
Yeah, this is weird. This story.
Yeah, bring it up, Brayden.
Here we go.
So this is a side-scrolling. You play a ninja assassin who, through the use of various substances, can see into the future and decide the best way to hit your assassinated target. That makes sense.
Is it? Yeah.
Sure. Let's move on. Anyway, because of the violence and the themes alluring to taking of illicit substances, it's been banned and refused classification in Australia
Of course.
because an R18 plus doesn't stop the goody two shoe wankers at the Australian Board of Bullshit from. I swore then. It angers me. Like, we're grown people.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're
this is
over
rough.
18, we have the right to determine what we want to see and what we want to play.
If you don't want to have drug use in anything, don't have it in anything.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to have to go back and get rid of RoboCop 2.
Yeah. And it's this whole negative stigma that, they play games, they're going to be influenced to blah, blah, X, Y, Z, which has been proven wrong time and time and time again. It's just a scapegoat that politicians like to use, so it looks like they're actually doing something.
They refused classification for Fallout, and they had to change, like, one of the things that you took was like morphine, and they had to change it to a made-up drug before it was like, and they actually changed it for Bethesda.
Yeah.
Like, to get into Australia.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's...
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what happened to Look at the violence in this game. And they don't
The
care about-
violence wasn't the problem. Like, Mortal Kombat, we were just looking at Mortal Kombat, some of the fatalities there.
are actually
Sub-Zero,
horrendous.
Yeah. Sub-Zero puts you in ice stocks, chops off your head, picks up your chopped head, freezes it, and then punches it apart. But this 16-bit pixelated graphics, which alludes to drug use, is not good. It's not on.
It is the loot. Yeah, Rubbo.
Absolutely
They're
ridiculous.
ridiculous humans.
Anyway, at this point, I'd like to mention that last week I mentioned that you can get a different region and access different stores through your Switch by making an account
Is
based
this a
in the
Switch
US.
game?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
based in the US or based in Japan.
Very unswitch.
You can visit those stores and buy games that maybe haven't been classified in Australia that you want to play, for example. Maybe you should look into it.
Maybe
Give that a go.
you can. While you're there, you can check out my whole games collection that I've got backed up.
Yes, legally.
Legally, of course.
Give Dan a good handshake to the past while you're there. Speaking of hands,
Hey.
this was for me and not anyone else.
Aw.
But a Goomba little toy model from the 80s has been released. Been found.
It's
Can
cast.
you see something there on that second picture?
In the middle one,
In that middle one there?
he has arms that he's holding behind his
He
back.
has hands and arms he's been holding behind his back for the past 30 years. This blew my mind.
More than 30 years.
Well, whatever it is.
He's a very patient Goomba.
They're like Nintendo telling me for all this time, Goomba has been able to use his hands. You imagine the carnage he'd be able to cause?
He'd be able to go, oh, don't jump on me.
Yeah. He'd be able to pick things up, like, dignity.
It'd be a lot easier to see if the picture was the right size, but yeah. I'm going to leave it now.
Aw,
we
Dan.
understand.
Do you know what I'm going to leave? Our next news topic. Because Capcom have announced the Capcom Home Arcade Machine. It's going to retail for $362 US, and it has a plethora of arcade games.
Wait, is
some
that
of
the
which
machine?
That's it.
Oh,
It's
that's
the
actually
Capcom
it.
logo. Yeah,
Oh my god, that is horrible.
isn't it? I mean, it's
that
got.
was just a graphic when it kept coming up. I
No.
was like, okay.
Can you imagine sitting with that on your lap playing it? And if you want to play a two-player game, look how close you have to be to that person sitting on your couch playing with the controls.
It's as long as this table.
I don't know.
I reckon it's about that long.
It better be.
And
Yeah, good. That's a 6-button setup. So it's probably about that long. It's like an arcade.
what I really like is the camouflage buttons that you can't really see. You just have to sort of hope you're pressing the
there's
right
all
one.
the games.
So that's all the games. They're really, really cool. They're re-releasing Alien vs. Predator, which they haven't done before. It's never been ported from the arcade, so that's really, really
Really?
cool. But for
plug and play.
$362 US,
Oof.
at the moment, you can only pre-order it in the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's the end of it.
So I'm sure that will change, but at the moment, the only place you can pre-order it is in the United Kingdom. So it's coming out on the 25th of October, as we can see there. And just look at the games. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, which is the best version.
Hang on. How much is it?
$362 US. So
And
we're
that's all
looking
the games on it?
Yeah, so you're looking at probably about $550, let's say.
Okay, so how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is there?
4x4 is 16, Dan.
16. What's 500 divided by 16?
Any layman can tell you, Dan, that 500 divided by 16
You're on your phone.
is 31.25.
So you're paying $31 for 25-year-old games.
Oh, it's
Each.
honestly, that's pretty fair.
Do you know what's not on there?
What?
Oh no, it doesn't matter. It's the wrong system.
You're not getting physical copies of
But
these
do you know
games,
what's
though.
wicked? Captain Commando is a rad one.
Yep.
AVP is a good one. Mega Man: The Power Battle? Is that like that Street Fighter-esque Mega Man game, which isn't very good at all?
Yep. Puzzle Fighter 2 is good. Street
What's
Fighter
that
2 is
Pro
good.
Gear down the bottom there?
I've not played that. I don't think it was released here. But funny thing that I didn't know,
I'm
Captain
pretty
Commando.
sure I backed that up onto my system from the copy I've got.
Oh, yeah. Captain Commando.
It's a beautiful game. That was the first game where I could chop someone in half with the ninja, the weird mummy character, the knives.
I didn't realize that he was like a Capcom
A mascot?
mascot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, really? He's in
Yeah.
heaps of the stuff.
Well, it makes sense because his initials would be Capcom.
Capcom. Maybe that's what. Oh, maybe that's the first thing that. Maybe they made that the name from him.
No, I think they made Captain Commando the.
It's something computer. What do you reckon? What do you reckon Capcom stands for?
I don't know.
Capybara.
It'll be because it's Japanese, isn't it? So it'll be something like because Famicom is like family computer.
Yep.
So Capcom would be saying like something.
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
We'll
right.
look into it and
Right.
come
Cappy
back next
from
week.
Super Mario Odyssey.
No, Braden. This isn't about you and your current timeline. Does that make you feel sad, Braden, me yelling at you?
Yep.
Does it make you feel really sad?
Sad.
Oh,
Well, then maybe you should get an Xbox S All Digital Edition. The Xbox SAD has been announced, and here it is on screen. What an absolutely pointless machine this is. Now, this was the diskless drive that we were talking about before.
Have you guys seen the ad that they did for this?
Oh, we've got it. That'll be bringing up.
No, I cut it out because it was so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like we've got
Sitting
no
around a
sound, so
boardroom?
it doesn't. Yeah, you don't even know what it is. Like it's all this. It's supposed to be like, trying to jazz it up, trying to make it a bit funny and comical, and like, how are we gonna make this and all this stuff and.
So this comes with Sea of Thieves digitally, of course,
that white
and
controller.
costs $649 Australian. $649 Australian. That's without the disc drive and without the Blu-ray player. So do you know what you can get for $350?
No.
You can get an Xbox One S with a disc drive and Blu-ray player, Blu-ray player, and 4 games from EB. I looked it up just
Jesus.
before. $350. You can get this exact thing. And hey, if you didn't want physical copies, guess what else you can do on the Xbox One S? You can just download copies onto it and have it all digital. This machine is completely pointless.
It's just a money-making device.
It is completely like, had they bought it out and it was like $250, then yeah.
My wife said, "Oh, did they just have too many Xboxes and they're just trying to sell them off?" I said, "No, they actually made a new machine. It's not even the same body."
Well, it costs more than the S, the normal S. And the S isn't even their high-end system. It's the X. So they're asking for like almost Xbox X prices for a machine where you get less that you can do with it. Like a refurbished Xbox One S is $260 Australian.
That's weird, isn't it?
Absolutely ridiculous. Why anyone would spend $650 Australian on a digital thing when they can save $400 by getting a refurbished one and just download digital games on that is absolutely mind-boggling. It's not even smaller. They've taken out this disc drive and it's not even smaller, so it's not like something you can put in your bag and take with you when you go on trips or something. Absolutely pointless. Having said that, if you're a collector, you might want to grab one of these.
Okay, they're not going to make many, eh?
No. Speaking of collections and collectors, Persona 5 Scramble was announced for Switch.
How is that speaking of collective?
Because you collect things in Persona 5.
Oh, okay.
Apart from this game, you don't.
This looks like just a killer. I mean, like a slasher game. Like, look
Yeah.
at this. Look at
Yeah, so-
hordes
Hyrule Warriors. There was a Fire Emblem one.
What's Atlas?
Atlas, that's the dev company that made Persona.
Well, who's the other one?
I don't know, some partnership. Anyway, a lot of people...
They did a Metal Gear. They did a Metal Gear like that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people... Yeah, it was called Metal Gear Survive.
No, not that one.
A lot of people were really, really hoping for Persona 5 to be released on Switch. Me as well. There was a lot of rumors that this Persona 5S or Persona 5 Scramble was that. It's not. I'm sorry. Stop writing angry letters. Stop downvoting. You didn't get what you wanted based on absolutely no evidence at all. It's something you made up in your head and chose to run with it. Get over it. It's on the PlayStation 4. They're very cheap. They're not $650. You can buy it. You can play that game. You don't have to play everything on the go.
It's true.
All right.
Sit on your couch with your mates at home.
Speaking of sitting on your couch with your mates, a new mode was revealed in Fortnite today, a limited time mode, which is I was playing just before. It's basically Avengers Endgame crossed with Fortnite. So what you have is two teams.
It's Thanos.
One team is the Chikari from the first Avengers film, like Thanos' henchmen.
Yeah, they're rubbish, those guys.
And the other is made up of your avatars, and you're randomly chosen. And what happens is the Chikari are trying to get the Infinity Gams as they land. And a person is chosen to be Thanos at random.
That dude saved the universe.
I know. And the others who are Fortnite players or your Fortnite icons, avatars, you come down, you automatically have a treasure map with the Avenger logo on it. You find a chest, and within that chest, you have one of 5 weapons: Hawkeye's bow, Captain America's shield, Stormbreaker, and...
Stormbreaker's clearly the one to get.
No, actually.
Oh, Hawkeye's bow.
That's Hawkeye's bow and Iron Man's gauntlets, which are so OP. It's hilarious. It's really great. I was playing this just before we came here.
You can fly, can't you? Oh, she's on the trees.
Yeah, you fly and you shoot things. It's just so much fun. It's completely random. You die and you respawn. It's like
doesn't look like
a 50 on 50 battle. I actually got randomly selected to be Thanos one battle, and that was really cool as well. Unlike the original Thanos one that came out last year to hype with Infinity War, this one is not all versus one. This is a 50-50 team thing where the heroes have to stop you from getting the Infinity Gauntlet. The Gams. I meant to say Gams and Gauntlet, so Gauntlet.
The Gams.
It's just a hell of a lot of fun. So Fortnite have bought my attention for another 10 days. Another thing Fortnite got from me.
Cash grab.
Well, they're also bringing out Avengers skins for the main game as well. At the moment, you can get Black Widow, so I'm just biding my time. I will be buying some skins for the first time ever because I'm going to get Captain America, I'm going to get Thor, I'm going to get Iron Man.
Nah.
No.
You haven't sold me on anything so far.
Really?
Nah.
This doesn't pique your interest at all? Just
one bit. I haven't even seen it.
Crazy fun?
Yet.
We'll see here. I think just before we move on to our next segment, this might be the Iron Man gloves. So if we can see this, I'll be very, very happy. No, it's Stormbreaker. Anyway, you should go check it out. It's really, really awesome.
Groot.
Brayden.
Groot.
Hey, do you know who else is Groot? Groovy?
I am Groot.
Kinkajou Collectibles.
Hey.
Kinkajou Collectibles has been a supporter of the show for many, many years, even though we've only been around for like 2. He supplies you with all the things from Japan that you love that are not edible or, out of vending machines.
Sometimes he brings me lollies from Japan when he comes in.
Sometimes he brings you mini capsule machines. But he'll bring you, dear viewers / listener, all the type of video games and plastic stuff that you like in order to fill up your home and get your beloved other person to yell at you to start selling your crap. Because it's just... Sorry. Kinkajou Collectibles. Check him out.
At Greenlight Comics.
At Greenlight
Speaking
Comics.
of Greenlight Comics, that's my shop. Come down to Greenlight Comics, pick up graphic novels, look at Kinkajou stuff, talk to me and Ross, and Gina, and Sarah, and sometimes Mark.
Just run through everyone.
And yeah, that's all I've got really to say about it. The ad's going too long. No, Braden, cut it off.
Damn straight, I cut it off.
Greenlight Comics.
See you there.
That's not your phrase.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's what
See you
comes up at the
soon.
end of the ad.
See you soon.
See you soon. And there.
Now, we mentioned at the top of the show that the 21st of April was the 30th anniversary of the Game Boy being released in Japan. 30 years. So, do you know what else is old? You're old.
I'm not.
You are.
All right, let's
Calling
go.
people out.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to... Here it is. Here's the boy here.
So he's got no face because he's green.
Happy birthday.
Hack the Dino now available on the Game Boy.
You can't put it in front of your face.
Oh, I was
You're not
seeing-
gonna know that.
My God.
So that's a Game Boy. Big old brick. I had one of these. I still remember when I was young, when these were released, and I was really, really hoping for one, but I never... Don't know, that's an illegal cart. I was really, really
I'm showing
hoping...
it.
I was really, really hoping that I would get one, but never expected to, because I had a NES, and my parents were very stringent on what they bought me, because apparently I had an addictive personality or something. What? Who would have thought? So I was absolutely blown away when I got one for my birthday that year.
Oh,
and
really?
just remember sitting there playing it for ages. I played Kirby's Dream Land
Yeah.
over and over again. Tetris, yeah, Kirby's Dream Land is rubbish. You can just float up the top and float across the whole screen.
The whole game.
Yeah. So I thought we'd reminisce a little bit. I bought a couple of things to show and tell. But Dan, first, what are your memories of Game Boy?
First up was my biggest. Whenever anyone says the word Game Boy to me, it just cuts straight to the Australian Game Boy TV commercial. Game Boy, Super Mario Land. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember it.
Boy,
We sung this.
F1
We're not going to sing the whole thing.
No. Don't forget
Yeah,
your
Brady,
too. Maybe we
Use
will.
that editing technique, Brad.
No. So yeah, obviously this was the big ad. You can see here. This is a very bad quality. You can't find this like in any good quality. This ad anywhere. But so that was my first memory. But living in Australia of Game Boy. My second one was that I had a friend down the road, and she wasn't into video games at all, but she would just religiously play the Game Boy, Tetris. That's all she played, just over and over and over again. It was weird to see someone like her who's fully not into video games, just 100% addicted to a
It's
video game.
one of the best Tetris ports out there.
Yeah.
I
The most-
don't know why. Driving down the street at night with my Game Boy like this, because there was no light function, you had to sort of like angle it and hope for a street light to go past if you're playing in the car.
Oh, yeah.
As well as not getting car sickness, because, yeah, that stuff happens. Sorry.
But, what was it? Another great memory of a Game Boy was how I got my Game Boy.
Oh, yeah?
Was back in the day, I was a skateboarder. Well, I still am a skateboarder, but I was very much into skateboarding. And skateboarders like to skate in schools, like primary school. So you go after the school's closed and you skate all this stuff there, like the stairs and that. And we did that every day at our local school. And then one day I was just there and I'm like, what's that? There's a little bag on the ground. And I unzipped it and there was a Game Boy in there with like 15 games.
Oh.
So like...
Some poor kid
I
lost
know.
their Game Boy
And
collection.
as an adult now, I would have handed it in. But like back then, it was just like, well, there was nowhere to hand it in. It was like, it was nighttime because we would skate at school at night. And I was just like, oh, cool. I've got
Some
a game.
little kid has cried for a week and probably still scarred because they
probably.
left their Game Boy on the bench because they were distracted.
Those parents,
There it is.
those parents would be furious.
Oh, man, you awful human being.
No, I didn't even think it was bad at the time. I understand it's
Oh,
bad
well, that
now.
makes it all
But
right.
that's how I acquired my
You're
Game Boy.
fine, Hitler.
And then my other Game Boy memory of having that Game Boy is I was working in a pretty like soul crushing job at that time. I might have told this story before actually on the show, but I'm going to quickly reiterate. And I was and I would go sneak to the toilet and have my 55-minute toilet sit down. Because I was working in a big factory, no one was missing where if you're away.
Oh, wow.
And I'd play my Game Boy. And then one day I was in there playing my Game Boy, and someone came in the cubicle next to me, and I thought, I better have a look. And I looked under the cubicle, and it was like the big boss's shoes. Like he was a really expensive shoes. And I'm like,
It was Snake.
yeah.
It was infiltrating.
And so this is the biggest guy. I was sitting next to me on the toilet, and I'm in the Game Boy. But instead of not playing it, because the buttons you go click, click, like you can hear the buttons. I was just sitting there I was playing Skate or Die on it, and I was just pressing the buttons really softly, like I wouldn't stop playing.
And then he
you
was
know what?
blown when he went,
And I finished that game in that toilet. In the end,
this has been in the...
in the certain winery. Oh, I can say now, Hardy's Winery. So they've shut down now.
Probably because their workers were
Having
bludging.
55-minute toilet breaks, playing Game Boy in the toilet.
Anyway, I don't, for those of you listening to the podcast, I'm sorry, you're going to have to use your imagination. But those of you watching us live on twitch.tv/hackthedino, or maybe watching the replay over at youtube.com/hackthedino, you can see at the front here the good old Booster Boy.
No, do them in order. Because otherwise, break.
No,
I got it.
You got it? Oh, there it is up on screen. The Booster Boy, the big old peripheral that
This thing is
actually
big.
goes around your Game Boy. So there's the Game Boy there. It sits in there. And it was supposed to make the screen bigger because it has this magnifying glass at the front, which had a light.
Did it work?
What it did was make your hands cramp up a lot quicker. And the thing is damn heavy.
It's like...
And it has separate batteries as well as the Game Boy. Like, it doesn't run off the Game Boy batteries. And if you're a Game Boy person like me, you know that you were constantly searching for those 4 AA batteries.
So many remotes for like so many fathers trying to turn on the news. Where's my news? Where's my sport? What is going on here? And then like little band in this corner.
Yeah, basically. So that was one of the peripherals that were just oh man, there were a lot of weird ones. Should we go into more peripherals now?
Yeah. I want to see all the peripherals. Ben's board always. Do you want to give some to me and I'll hand them to you?
Okay.
Bring it around this.
So we got here. This is one of the Gameboy cases.
We don't have a photo of this.
We don't have a photo of this.
Big Braden, so we can
bring us up big. Yes. This is a Gameboy case. Now I actually lost my original old school one for this, but that's what I used to have my Game Boy living in when I was younger.
How do I open this without breaking it?
You just
it snaps and turns to dust.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see there. Oh look, someone's feces is still in there. The Game Boy sat on the left-hand side there, and all the games slid in. You could hold about probably 4 or 6 games in there, and you just swap them in and out. And I took that everywhere with me. When I lost it, I was devastated.
The cool kid, he's like, "Hey guys, just going down to the park. Let's go."
Like
I did used to carry it around like that. Yes.
Oh my god.
Necklace. It's like
no, I hang it around my shoulder like a cool dude.
One of the rappers' big necklaces.
No one can hear you now because you're off mic.
They heard me. Yeah.
Another peripheral that came out with the Game Boy was the Gameboy Camera.
Woo. Oh, yeah.
So this is the very first selfie. You can see it here and also on the screen. There's a little camera that slid into the back of the Game Boy.
As we're showing, as he's showing here.
Like so. So it'd go in like that, and you could take photos of yourself like that, have selfies, or things around you.
It's a very Mac-looking thing.
It is, hey.
It's
like
a very...
It's like an old school like iMac vibe.
It's the original iPhone. Game Boy phone.
Are you going to tell that story about the one at Kinkajou? That's pretty funny.
How Kinkajou found one of these Game Boy cameras over in Japan and bought it back and put it in his Game Boy. And
it was full of Japanese girls.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Photos.
Yeah, they weren't...
let's just leave it at that.
They weren't nudie ones. They were
yeah,
just... No, they were not. You're making stuff up.
no.
And there's one thing we don't do here is make stuff up. Do you want to see what else they released to coincide with the Game Boy?
Keep going.
Okay, so we've got the original box Game Boy here.
Look at this. I'll hold this up. Wait a sec, Braden. Let us show them. Oh, look at before we. So yeah, an actual boxed one.
Yeah, actual box Game Boy. This is mine from my collection. Now in Australia, this came packaged with a game. Turns out that game is very, very rare now.
What is it?
Do you know what game this came out with?
Tetris?
No, well, it did come with Tetris. But on the back, you can see it's all scratched up. It's because the game was stuck on the back. And a majority of Australian cases like this are scratched up like that because the game was glued on there. It came with this little game here.
Look how scratched that is.
Yeah, because the box was stuck on it. Can we see that at home?
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
Agrosaw.
Wow.
Agrosaw.
Connection.
That's right. That was only released in Australia.
Nice.
And that is now one of the rarest games you can get.
What's
this
it worth?
Cartridge is worth about $100. And if you have a box one, it's about $400.
Jesus.
So it's about it. Yeah, right.
So just that little thing there. And it's always the bad games that are worth the most.
Yeah, like days before Christmas.
Now, due to the due to the popularity of the Game Boy, they brought out a whole series of colors. I've got one here still in its box. This is how it was originally came out. This is the black Game Boy OG, the DMG 101. It's even still got its warranty card with it.
Yeah, God.
So that came out in black, red, blue, yellow, green. The blue one's actually the hardest to find.
Nice. The blue?
Yeah, the blue one. I've actually got them all at home, but didn't really feel like... Not box. This is the only box one. But didn't feel like bringing them all in.
Is that the actual box?
This is the actual box, how it came.
Like a hard case?
Yeah. So this one came in a hard case like that.
Weird.
Cool.
Rad. So with the popularity of that, we got other items. This here is a still on card pouch that
I
you
gave
used
you
to.
one of them the other day.
You did, but that wasn't on card.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is. This that's how it appeared in
my
the
God.
shops. So yes, I collect things that are still on card. Oh, you want to talk weird?
Nah.
Here's weird. Ladies and gentlemen, the Game Boy calculator.
Oh my
An
God.
official Nintendo product. It is a mini Game Boy calculator. You open it, it looks like a Game Boy. You open it up and there's buttons inside to do all your calculations. It's got here 8-digit display, auto power off,
Ooh.
unscrew the screws at the back cover for button cell replacement. Caution, contains glass module which can cause injury if the toy is broken. So that was 1995, an official Game Boy thing. I really like collecting this rubbish type stuff with Nintendo seals on it
Mate,
because they're
yeah.
great.
What else we got?
One last thing. I
What
didn't-
about the Super Game Boy? Bring the
Super
picture up.
Game Boy, bring it up. Yes, that's the US Super Game Boy you can see on the screen right now. The Australian version's a little bit different.
I couldn't find the other picture.
I forgot to bring my Super Game Boy. I've got two Super Game Boys, both in variant boxes, one from release and one from down the track. I forgot to bring them both. There's also a Game Boy printer, which you can get, which hooks up to your Game Boy, and you can print your photos off it. That's really, really cool. I've got that one as well.
It's just a receipt printer, but yeah.
It is. It's a thermal engine
Yeah.
printer. But there's also one that I've got still in the box from Japan, which is a Pokemon printer. And I didn't realize how much it was worth until I looked it up the other day on eBay, and it's about $300.
Nice. What'd you get it for?
A lot
Yens.
less.
Yens.
A lot less than that. So the last thing I wanted to show, just to show the difference between Japan and Australia with their Game Boy things, is the same game, but in their different boxes. So we can see on the screen here,
Let me do this one, Brad.
you've got Pokemon Yellow with Pikachu. On the left there, we can see the Australian version, and on the right, same game, but from Japan. You can see that the box is a little bit smaller from Japan, a little bit more compact, and I personally think a little bit better.
I've got the bring out the picture, Brad. I got the Mario ones,
The Mario ones.
which would have fit beautifully if
You know what, Dan? You need to give yourself a handshake to the past and
I
just
know.
relax over it.
I'll never get over it.
So the Game Boy, still one of my favorite consoles ever. Of course, we had numerous iterations of it. The Game Boy Color, the Game Boy SP, the Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP Advance, Game Boy Micro.
We know.
They just kept going and going.
They're
And
still
it
making
wasn't
them now.
until the DS that the Game Boy name was officially retired. I'm hoping for a Game Boy Mini. Can you imagine getting one of these with like 5,000 games on
But
it?
it's half the size.
No, I just wanted that size.
But that's not a
Original
mini.
Game Boy
That's
size.
not a mini. They should just re-release it, like the 30th anniversary Game Boy.
Yeah,
That
well,
would be a good
35th.
idea.
But yeah, having all the games on there, that'd
35.
be absolutely amazing.
Oh, is it 35th?
No,
Oh,
30th.
I was going to say I got the date wrong. But no, I'm right. All right. What's next?
What's next is me looking cautiously at Braden as he pulls the...
Sorry, I'm moving cords and cables across the floor.
just an FYI, Braden, the cord to the camera was very temperamental before, so
Yep, I'm being careful.
enjoy that.
If we go off, it'll just add to my tenseness. Rage. Anyway, yeah, so next up we got some viewer questions.
Viewer question time.
Let's
Okay.
get into it.
let's-
We're a bit more organised for viewer questions this week. It's an actual segment with actual visions. The podcast people will love that.
Yeah. Papa.
Popeye.
I'm Papa the say. Podcast people, head on over to YouTube and watch this bit because it's great. Devil Knits got in touch with us over on our Facebook page. You can also do that on the Instagram page or drop us an email over at hackthedino.com, whatever you like. And he would like to know what's been your favorite art style in games. Now, I think we have two very different ideas of what's a really good art style in a game, Dan.
Did you see mine?
I saw yours, but I also know the arguments we've had about graphics being how important graphics are to a game. I'm pretty confident that you are more demanding with what your eyes devour. Personally, I love the graphic art from The Wind Waker. I loved it the first time I saw it.
I've more done like graphic style.
Well,
mine, yeah.
graphic style.
Yeah.
For me,
Look
Wind
at
Waker...
that.
like,
That is beautiful. It's very so. What is that? Is that on?
that'd be the HD version on
Pretty
the
crisp.
the
eh?
Wii U, yeah. Just gorgeous. I love the cell shading. I love the cartoony backgrounds. Everything about it. Journey's very similar to this. That cell shading.
It looks like Fortnite.
Again, not surprising.
It actually does.
It's a really, really cool visual style. I also really, really enjoy the large, detailed comic book type graphics of the Marvel vs. Capcom series. I don't know if we've got any of that footage. Oh, here we go. So big, huge, flowing sprites. We can see my favorite boy there, Ryu. There's Ken and Sean. They're going to take on Golden Iron Man.
Golden War Machine.
Oh, that's right. He was War Machine in this one because they couldn't get the rights for Iron Man for some reason. But you could get a skin where he was red and gold, so whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a bit weird.
There was a rights thing.
You're right. That's a beautiful. That's just a really detailed pixel vibe.
No, it's got not so much pixel. I do like pixel art, but it's more of a comic book vibe. So the latest Marvel vs. Capcom, I did not like at all. That was uncanny valley rubbish. It was awful. I wanted these types, the big, beautiful sprites that they kept.
Chun-Li.
Yeah. That they made famous. This game was made famous because you also saw it in Marvel Superheroes and Children of the Atom and all those types of games. Yeah, even when you see the artwork for the store, the bollards and the advertising, the art is just amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, that's what I like. Dan, what do you like?
So my favorite art style or game style is 2.5D.
Whoa!
So games like Shadow Complex, which is on the screen now. So 2.5D for people who don't know. Oh, look at that guy coming in. Is so it's basically a side scroller, like a what are they called? Platformer.
Yep.
But in a 3D world. So it only has kind of really become popularized recently. This was one of the best ones, I reckon. Shadow Complex was amazing. Like, this game is just so good. So yeah, I just love this. Like, it feels like you're playing like an old school Handshake to the Past.
Yep.
But you've got the graphics of like modern day, like, so it's just got everything that I like in it. Another one, a good example is what came out yesterday. Mortal Kombat 11 is 2.5D.
Yep.
It's sideways scroller just on the base. What's that called? Just on a plane,
like screen.
One parallax.
Parallax.
But you're still in the 3D world, and I think this gives the developers an opportunity because it's like, you're not having to make the whole 3D world where everyone can look and find problems and everything. So you can get these 3D worlds that they can put an immense amount of detail in because, like, they don't have to create the whole world. They're just creating a section of the world. And I think it's why these games look so good, and why I think 2.5D games always look beautiful. Is because they can concentrate exactly what you see. Sorry, I'm just looking at Mortal Kombat, how ridiculous it is. Yeah, so that in my opinion is my favorite kind of art. Well, it's kind of an art style. It's like a game style. I might have misread the question a little bit.
No. I think you nailed it. It's an art style. You like that? That crisp.
Well, this is a 2.5D vibe, and also there's nothing new about it. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like a handshake.
No, I'm not a dev.
It's a handshake to the past on one plane. That's it.
Next question. Next one comes from Taylor Hemphill, who asks, or states, with Pokemon Detective Pikachu coming out soon, which looks amazing, and a Mario movie in the works, what Nintendo franchise should come to the big screen next?
What do you think, Ben?
Well,
yeah. Well, considering they've already used Mario and Pikachu, there's only one more that you could possibly want to do.
I want to turn this on the head a little bit. I want to make a pitch for a movie, and as you can see on the screen right here, because Braden clicked the button preemptively,
you got it.
Is a Legend of Zelda movie. So my Legend of Zelda movie. What we can see here, by the way, is the IGN April Fool's Day joke they did about 8 years ago, where people actually believed that this was going to be a movie. Look at this. Who would believe that would be a movie?
Yeah, it's pretty fan service.
Anyway, so my pitch would be, it would start off with Link as a little kid in the Kokiri village waking up as he does at the start of every Zelda game, and he's just getting picked on by the other Kokiri. There's like...
There's such cockeries to him.
Yeah, there's like a tournament or something where Link has this crappy little wooden sword and he gets bullied by Mido, and Mido gets his sword and like runs away with it, and Link's chasing after him and he's getting picked on, and they sort of like toss it away from him and play keep away, and then they throw it into the Great Deku Tree or the sacred grounds where you're not supposed to go. And then they go, oh, I guess you won't be taking part in the tournament now. So they all scarper off, and Link goes,
You've
oh,
thought
no.
about this, haven't you?
I'm going to go in there. I'm a writer. I do fanfics.
I'm going to make mine up as I go along.
So Link goes in there, and he finds his sword, but then he sees a better sword over there, and like the pedestal, and goes, oh, what's that? And goes over and pulls it out. And it's the Master Sword, but he doesn't age yet. So he goes back and he wins the tournament, but little does he know, by releasing the Master Sword, he's also released Ganon. So Ganon is released into the world.
Oh, Obi-Wan's in it.
There's stuff going down, and he's, trying to race back. He wants to get back and put the sword back in, but when he arrives, Princess Zelda's there going, ha, you're the one that stuffed us up. And then from there, you would go along the whole Ganondorf and Princess Zelda are in hiding, and Link going backwards and forwards through time. And just give me a Zelda film.
Yeah.
Just give me it.
Well, what I would do is not that.
All right.
So the Nintendo franchise, which I know something about, I would probably do Metroid.
Right.
So I've found an old fake Metroid trailer here.
This actually looks better than the
so mine would
IGN
just
one.
be set up in like very like Aliens.
Yep.
In that kind of metally like world. With
So what type of?
Samus.
So mine was more of a fantasy adventure movie. What's yours? A
Mine's
survival
like-
horror? Or?
Yeah, mine's like a survival horror kind of thing, like Aliens. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got these like it even looks like Aliens, even this like fake trailer. And then you got Samus, and it's just basically a survival like kind of one. It goes in, and then you find out that maybe they're going in to kill this big thing, but maybe it's not as bad as you think it is.
It's worse.
No,
they're
the
Metroids.
Metroids were fine in the end.
No, they weren't. There was one Metroid that was fine.
Yeah,
because
that one one.
It mistook you for its mother.
Yeah, well, they find out that it's nice, that one. And then it's like that movie Baby. Remember that? The dinosaur one?
No.
From the 80s?
Oh, hang on. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Unlocked memory.
I just thought we had to just say what we should like redo, and I didn't know because I had to do a pitch. And then in the end, she saves the universe, and that she goes home with her little Metroid, and they make friends. Little Metroids together. All little Metroids. Half the Metroids with a human arm hanging out of it because they made babies.
Ugh.
Yeah, gross.
Anyway, it's time to play Dan versus the World.
Ooh.
Hey, Brayden,
Hey.
your camera's not working.
No, it is not.
Oh, dear.
That's interesting.
Tonight, the part of Brayden will be played by a big orange spot.
Big square.
You are a big square, Brayden.
I'm a big square. Let's be real.
While Dan's fixing Brayden, I'll tell you the rules. Dan vs. the World is a musical jukebox quiz game. I have 3 songs. I will play the first 5 seconds of the first song. Dan and Brayden, who represent Dan, and Brayden representing the world, that's for all you guys out there, will take it in turns, asking 5 questions each. Dan will ask Dan, and then Brayden will ask. Dan will ask, and then Brayden will ask. At the end of 5 questions, they take a guess as to where that music has appeared, what game it appeared in. I do need the full title. If they get it right, they get a point for their selective team. If they do not, the other person has a chance to guess. If they get it wrong, it's a draw. But if they get it right, you guessed it, the point goes over the other side. As you can see, Dan's still trying to fix that camera, so I'm just going to keep on talking.
Keep on keeping on.
At the moment, Dan, you're on 17.
Yeah.
Are you? Or is the world on 17? I don't know.
The world is not enough.
No, Dan, you're on 17, and Brayden, representing the world, is on 16. Now, usually our guests play the part of the world, but when we don't have guests, we have Brayden. Brayden,
Yo,
how are you feeling about Dan versus the world?
definitely fine now that my face ain't here, but it's cool.
It's cool?
It's cool.
You might have to just be the square man off screen for this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. It's a pity because you're looking really splendid today.
There we go. Thanks, man.
You're looking really.
And the great part is, no one can tell you otherwise.
That's right.
Now my finger's bleeding.
Now, how'd you manage that?
Finger's bleeding for some reason now. Nothing's working.
So let's get straight into Dan versus the world.
Nothing's working for me today. It's like the worst day ever.
All right, here we go. Song number 1. Dan, question number 1.
What kind of console is it on?
I was on the Game Boy.
Oh dear.
Brayden.
Oh boy. Okay. Was it released by Nintendo? Like made by them?
It was published by Nintendo.
Well, yep.
Yep, there you go. Dan, question number
So
2.
on the Game Boy made by Nintendo.
Yeah, really narrows it down.
Cool.
What is the main protagonist thing, player thing?
You never learn, do you?
Why does it give it away?
You're a boy.
Yeah, it's always a boy or a man
Brayden.
or a white dude. What is the main general bad guy that you're against like majority of the time?
It's a man who's a bit of a businessman, a bit of a slimy individual, bit of a crook, but very suave.
I just realised how to fix the camera.
Leave it. It's fine.
Dan, question number 3.
What is your weapon?
Your weapon, so the primary thing that you use to battle people, is a small animal.
Okay, now I have to work out which game.
Brayden.
Okay, yeah. Oh god. Okay.
Brayden, ask what color of the ball.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like the clear one. Hey. Was it like the original release?
Well, define original because
Like the OG, like the first round.
the first. Oh, so the first round.
Yeah.
How do I answer this?
Just go for it.
I'll say no,
I don't know.
and I'm being very technical.
I don't know the order of them anyway.
Okay, Dan. Question number 4.
I guess I should just guess it because I'm never going to guess it. And if Brayden gets it, he gets it. And if he doesn't, and I might get it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Pokemon Blue?
No. Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, I was gonna say yellow.
So a reason it wasn't in the first round is because I classified Pokemon Green and Red as the first round.
Yes.
Because I'm a
Is
nerd.
it green one?
Well, Pokemon Green was the original game that came out.
Wasn't it just called Pokemon?
No. Okay. So, Dan, you got that one? No.
Should I
Brayden
see?
got that one.
Should I see
Thanks.
if I can get Brayden just quickly to work?
Nah, you're all good. Just leave it. Just
Well,
leave
you can do it while I'm
Oh,
playing.
Brayden, if you want, you can just double click on your webcam and then maybe it's like it's gone off. It's gone to default.
it. I'll have a look.
And while we're doing that, here's the second song. Any moment now. Okay, is that enough stalling time?
Yep.
Good. Dan, question number 1.
What is the original? I'm trying to think of a different question. What is the original?
Yep.
What's the weapon?
Yep. There we go.
What's the weapon?
Or what do you use?
What do you use? Blocks.
Oh.
Brayden, question number 1.
What console is this one on?
Game Boy.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Sensing a theme.
Yeah.
Dan, question number 2.
Is it? It's Tetris.
Yes, it's
Oh my
Tetris. Oh, so Dan, you're on 18. The world's on 17. Brayden, can you tie it up?
Can I?
Can you?
Can I?
Do you think you can? Are you
Maybe.
like a little train?
You never know.
Do you like things?
Hey!
Hey, Brayden's here for the last
We're
time.
back.
Just in
Yeah,
time.
that's all good.
Dan, get back to stadium.
Yeah, you get back there. I can fix this now.
Okay, here we go. Third song.
I'm happy now. I fixed something.
In fact,
Something didn't go wrong.
if either of you get this, I'll give you double points. Because I'm so confident neither of you will get it.
Damn, okay.
Ready?
All right, you go. Wasn't that our opening theme?
Could be. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Mm,
Okay, so my first question is it a legitimate game?
a legitimate game.
Yeah, is it like, or is it some sort of hack?
It's
Yeah.
not a hack.
You
not
know
a
what
hack.
I mean? Like, has been bought out by an actual reputable company?
Yes, it was 100% brought out by Nintendo.
Okay.
Brayden, question number 1.
Question number 1. Okay. Is it like an actual like proper game or is it like a feature thing?
It's a feature thing.
Okay.
Dan, question number 2.
What does that mean, a feature thing?
Well, that can be your question.
What is... I know what console it came out of. What genre of game? We haven't asked that. What genre of game is it?
It's not a game.
Yeah, it's a feature.
It's a feature.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, now you do. It's not a game. Brayden, question number 2.
Is it a noise of when you use one of the accessories?
Yes. Dan, question number 3.
What?
What
accessory
does
would
it
make
do?
that noise?
What does it do?
What does the accessory do?
Are you sure you want to ask that question?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, come on.
What? Have you talked about this accessory?
Are you sure you want to ask that question?
There's a lot of accessories.
Yeah, you've talked about a lot of accessories.
Yes, I've spoken about this accessory
tonight.
tonight.
All right.
Brayden, question number 3.
Damn, we're all just like dancing around like really obvious questions. Hey,
That's why I like this game.
is it one of the things that you brought in?
Yes.
We just asked that, bro.
No, because I've talked about things I haven't bought in.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So that was a really silly question from Brayden because...
No, don't narrow it down. No, shush.
If you think back to the show, Dan, you can grab this one.
Pretty sure the carry case doesn't have any electronics in it, but it probably could. Oh my god, I don't know what would make sound from those couple of things. It's one of two.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these two, I reckon.
Yep.
What? How can I? There's nothing I can say. Can I have another? Can I have another listen?
You can have another listen. Here we go. Here's your listen.
No, stop! I don't want to hear anymore. Brayden, your shop.
Brayden, question number 4.
Oh god. Okay. What color is it?
What color is it?
Yeah.
Well, it came in a variety of colors.
What color was the one you held up?
Well, is that your question?
No, that
question
was his.
number 5?
That was
no.
his.
They come in
No,
multiple
he asked what color is it, and I said it came in a variety of colors. So now, question number 5, Dan. It's for double points. Double points.
Is it?
You gonna guess?
Ooh. He's narrowed it down.
Well, there's only...
I'm gonna change the rule. If you guess it correctly, you get double points. If you win by default, it's only the normal point.
That's a fair shout.
Dan?
So if I guess this, it's not right.
If you guess this and get it correct, you get double points.
Oh, okay.
But if you guess it and it's wrong, Brayden only gets 1 point.
Yeah, I don't know what it is anymore. I'm just going to say it and end this thing. Is it the Game Boy printer? No?
No. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I didn't bring a Game Boy printer with me.
Is it the Game Boy Camera?
It's the Game Boy Camera.
I knew it was one of those. Oh my god! You had nailed it down.
You had.
You had it. You
So
had it.
the world
It's
gets
not my
that.
week, eh?
So at the end of that round of Dan versus the world, Dan's on 18 and the world is on 18.
Man, I could have got 2 points then.
Tied up.
Man, this is
I
looking
was like
really
the person
good.
on the Price is Right. You know how they have to get some numbers at the end, and there's only one number left in the middle, and they still say the wrong number.
Yeah,
They just say something completely different anyway.
you're the person on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the question is, which character used to collect golden rings? And you go, Danky Kang.
Yeah.
That's you.
Sanic.
Sanic.
Well, even that would be close. We've been Hack the Dino,
Can I
a
phone a friend?
fortnightly nonsense variety show where we bring you all the nonsense in one tight package.
Ooh.
I'm the tight package.
Damn.
I'm bringing it to you.
We do this on YouTube.
Yep.
We've got some ads that we didn't bring up before. So the people watching us on Twitch, you can. We have a YouTube channel where we do whole lots of things and all this other stuff.
Yeah, check out the, I don't know how you describe it, the copyright infringing video I put up where I made games sound better by putting the Avengers theme over the top of it at key points.
We also, people watching us on YouTube, we have a Twitch channel where I stream every Sunday, and this also goes up live. So if you want to watch us live, do this and make comments to Brayden and stuff like that of what your thoughts about stuff is, head over to Twitch and maybe follow us over there.
Any idea what you're going to play this Sunday on Twitch?
I was thinking of not playing the games I played last week. I haven't actually made a decision yet.
How about getting your 100% legal Hyperspin booted up?
No,
playing that?
not yet.
Okay.
I'm still not 100% happy with it.
And you can also listen to us over on iTunes or Spotify or SoundCloud or Stitcher or Twitcher or Mixer or Bluetunes or
Hey, you
Rytunes.
Binger.
The
Binger. That's my favourite one.
Ear Cancer, you can get it there on on Avatar Ang. Anyway, you listen to things, you can hear our sweet dulcet tones.
Everyone's tuned out now anyway, because as soon as in any podcast when they start talking about this stuff, I stop it. Bye.
Oh no, I was going to have my all
Go,
right, fine.
Come here.
Brayden, it's been episode 69.
Nice.
Hey, remember, I love you 3000.